A peaceful morning in the woods turns dark when a man who came to watch birds ends up dead. And nothing about his final moments makes sense. What should have been the quietest place in Newfoundland suddenly becomes the center of a mystery, filled with hidden past, dangerous secrets, and a clue that no one expected, a trail leading straight to a forgotten treasure. The story begins in the calm silence of the Newfoundland forest. A small group of birdwatchers stands together, binoculars raised, waiting for a rare bird to appear. The air is cool, and soft sunlight filters through the trees. Everything looks peaceful until one of the group members notices that someone is missing. At first, they think the man has wandered off to get a better view, but when they spread out to look for him, the forest suddenly feels too quiet. Behind a cluster of bushes, they find him lying on the ground, motionless. His hands are curled slightly, his hat knocked off beside him. No one sees any blood or signs of a fight. One of the bird watchers kneels beside him, calling his name, hoping he will answer. But there is no response. Panic spreads and someone quickly calls for help. Minutes later, Hudson, Rex, and the team arrive. The calm forest now feels heavy with tension. Hudson steps carefully, observing the scene, while Rex sniffs the air with unusual interest. Sarah kneels beside the body, examining the man's posture and checking for any obvious injuries. But the strange thing is there are none. The victim looks like someone who simply fell asleep and never woke up. Hudson asks the tour group what happened, but their answers only raise more questions. Some say the man wandered away quietly. Others claim he seemed nervous earlier that morning. One woman mentions that he argued with someone the day before, though she isn't sure why. The group can't agree on anything except one odd detail. Before the bird-watching tour even began, the man kept checking over his shoulder, as if he thought someone was following him. Meanwhile, Rex pulls Hudson toward a patch of disturbed soil a few feet away from the body. It's a small area, barely noticeable to the human eye, but Rex keeps returning to it, nose low, tail stiff. Hudson approaches the ground and notices faint marks something or someone was there recently. He doesn't know what it means yet, but he knows Rex has found something important. Sarah finishes her initial examination and stands up slowly. She explains that the man didn't die from anything obvious. No marks, no wounds, no sign of poisoning, at least not at first glance. This leaves the team with a mystery. How does a healthy man die in the middle of a calm bird-watching tour, surrounded by people, with no one seeing or hearing a thing? Hudson looks around the forest, scanning the trees, the ground, the group of uneasy bird watchers. Something is not adding up. The victim didn't just collapse. Something led him here, and something happened that the team has not yet uncovered. Rex sits beside him, ears raised, waiting. Hudson knows that when Rex reacts like this, there's always more beneath the surface, and this peaceful forest is hiding a secret much bigger than anyone realizes. The deeper the team digs into the victim's past, the stranger the case becomes. What looks like the simple life of a quiet bird watcher soon cracks open to reveal layers no one in the group expected. At first, everyone believes he was just a nature lover who enjoyed peaceful hikes and rare bird sightings. But as Hudson begins asking questions, a different picture starts to form, one that hints at secrets the victim worked hard to keep buried. Back at the station, Sarah goes through the victim's belongings. Inside his backpack, she finds normal items: a field guide for birds, a water bottle, a folded rain jacket. Everything looks ordinary until she reaches a small notebook at the bottom of the bag. The cover is worn out, the pages slightly weathered. When Sarah flips it open, she realizes it's not a bird journal at all. Instead of sketches or bird notes, every page holds coordinates, dates, and short cryptic messages. Some entries are crossed out with heavy lines, as if the victim wanted them hidden. Others are circled, marked with stars or question marks. None of them make clear sense yet. Meanwhile, Hudson and Rex visit the victim's home. It's a small, neat place tucked on the edge of town. Nothing stands out, no signs of trouble or drama. But Hudson notices the locks on the doors are newer than the rest of the house. Not only that, there are just slide locks on the inside of the back door. It's as if the victim was worried someone might try to break in. On a shelf near the window, Hudson spots a dusty box filled with old letters. Most are harmless greetings from friends, notes about bird-watching trips. But one envelope catches his eye. It has no return address, only a short message typed on a plain sheet of paper: "Stop looking where you don't belong." Rex growls softly when Hudson reads the note out loud. Back at the station, Jesse analyzes the victim's phone. There are no saved contact names, only numbers. Dozens of calls with no labels and messages from unknown senders. Many texts are deleted, but a few survive. Short warnings, vague threats, and reminders to meet at the same location. A pattern begins to form, pointing toward a life far more complicated than bird watching. Hudson meets again with the birdwatchers from the tour. As he talks to them, he notices how each person reacts when he brings up the victim's past. One man suddenly grows quiet, refusing to make eye contact. Another gives answers too fast, as if rehearsed. A woman hesitates before admitting that the victim once pulled her aside to ask if she had ever seen strangers watching their group. She didn't think much of it at the time, but now she's unsure. The team gathers what they've learned so far. The victim was scared. He was receiving threats. He was tracking something in the woods, and he didn't trust the people around him. As the pieces begin to connect, Sarah walks in holding a printed photo from the victim's notebook coordinates. One of the marked locations sits deep inside disputed land property that has been fought over for years. Hudson looks at the picture, then at Rex, who stares back with sharp, alert eyes. Whatever the victim found out there, it didn't stay hidden for long. And now the team knows they aren't dealing with a simple accident. They're walking straight into the victim's secret world, and someone out there is willing to kill to protect it. The case takes a sharp turn the moment Sarah finishes analyzing the dirt samples Rex found near the victim's body. At first, it seems like ordinary soil from the forest floor until she notices a thin, glittering trace of something red mixed in the mineral layer. Under the lab lights, the particle shines with a deep, rich color. It isn't paint. It isn't glass. It's something far more valuable. It's ruby dust. Sarah stares at the test results, confused. Rubies don't just appear in the middle of a bird-watching trail. She checks the sample again, then again, making sure nothing is contaminated. But every test comes back with the same answer. The dust is real. And not just any ruby, raw, uncut, and rare. When Hudson hears the news, he knows instantly that the victim didn't just stumble onto a mystery. He found something that had been hidden from the world for decades. The next step is tracing where the ruby dust could have come from. Jesse digs through old land records, maps, and abandoned mining reports. Slowly, a forgotten story begins to surface. Years ago, before the land became a bird-watching hotspot, a small ruby mine once operated in the area. It was never large, never famous, and it disappeared after only a few years. Most people believed the mine was empty, worthless, not worth fighting over. But buried deep in old records is a rumor, one saying that the mine was closed suddenly. Not because it was empty, but because it held something valuable for the landowners to share. Hudson returns to the forest with Rex, following the coordinates from the victim's mysterious notebook. The deeper they go, the quieter the woods become, as if nature itself is holding its breath. Rex leads the way, nose down, tail straight, weaving between tall trees with growing certainty. Then they find it, a narrow opening in the ground, almost invisible beneath fallen branches and moss. It looks like nothing more than a natural crack in the earth, but Rex barks sharply. Circling the area, Hudson kneels beside the opening, brushing away dirt until he exposes a piece of old wood support beams from an abandoned tunnel. The victim didn't just wander into the woods. He found the hidden entrance to the lost ruby site. Suddenly, the threats, the coded messages, the fear in his behavior all begin to make sense. Someone knew he was close to rediscovering the mine. Someone who believed the land still held something worth killing for. Hudson steps back, looking around the silent forest. If the victim managed to find this place, others could too. And if someone already killed once to protect whatever lies beneath, they might not stop there. Rex lifts his head, ears twitching toward the trees, sensing something or someone nearby. The air grows tense, and for a moment Hudson feels the same unease the victim must have felt in his final days. This isn't just about a rare gem. This is about power, ownership, and a secret that never truly died. And now that the team is getting close, the person behind it all may be watching their every move. The closer Hudson and the team get to the truth, the more the case begins to feel like a story the forest has been trying to hide for years. But secrets never stay buried, not when Rex is on the trail. And now, every clue points toward one final answer. Someone killed the victim to protect a legacy built on lies, land, and a ruby that never belonged to them.